Okay, originally I would have called Ruin bad because Ruin, well, on a glance, it kind of does seem like that, but it ties into the story very well because it confirms the book's connections. It confirms the themes that the book had of good and bad AI and what happens to both of those, and it shows us in Ruin. The good AI is, of course, the Maxis that's protecting the Mimic, and the bad one is the Mimic, clearly, because, well, it's the Mimic. He was the first one, he was the one fed the bad information and is turned rogue. Where the Maxis simply just wanted to protect the Mimic and make sure he never got out. But us in Ruin, we fall for the Mimic's trap, we let him out. And I know there is 3 endings. Okay, and if you haven't seen the ending, spoilers, of course. Well, this entire video is spoiler, so if you made it this far, well, it's been out for a while. So, first ending, Cassie gets away, and then Gregory says, well, that's not me, and then pretty much just breaks the damn elevator on her. The second alternative ending is, well, that people are calling an ending, is if you put the Faz mask on next to a Freddy Fazbear cutout, you can see Gregory, Vanessa, and Helpy all on a hill together. And that's what people are calling the good ending. But I don't really think that's an ending. And then the bad, well, I don't even know what ending you call this. They're just calling it the scooper ending because I'm not really saying a name here. But the scooper ending is where you can lure the Mimic into a room where it gets scooped and presumably dies, but from the damage that we've done to the other animatronics for them to be alive, I don't think it's dead. Okay? And I say this because we broke the other animatronics. The Maxis unit still used them to protect the Mimic, even though they were badly damaged, which means that they're a lot tougher than they look, and they're not just going to break that easy, which then further means that he's going to come back, and who we originally thought was Afton in the security breach isn't Afton. It was I am going to assume a early version of the Mimic that they tried to make, or even like because right, I want to call the one locked up the first one because that's what it seems like, but it might not be. It might just be like a byproduct, because I'm still wholly confused on that part. But I do know that the base storyline connects to the books of the whole AI rogue crap, because it's, well, very clear. And on top of that, there's just a lot of things that in Ruin right now connect way too heavily to the books, from the Tree of Lives to, well, I call it Tree of Life. It's called something else in the books, but it's basically a giant tree with, I think it's called Tree of Life, a giant tree with a bunch of wires, right? We can find that in Security Breach. We can find a lot of other references, and we can also find a destroyed Princess Quest minigame with a sword in it. If you go into the back, or like it's like the darker ends of the Pizzaplex, you can find it. So we can find little like nods to the original game and the books. So there's a lot of things that I'm currently stuck on, but I don't know the full lore, so like that's probably why. But I know there'll be someone in the comments who will be like, who will probably be able to put it in better words or explain it better, because of the fact that the story has gotten so convoluted, where it started as a simple, oh yeah, murders have now possessed the animatronics, the dead kids, it went from to now remnants to now rogue AI, but maybe I feel like it could have always been rogue AI. Because of the way the story's being told, it just feels weird for it to all of a sudden have such a dramatic change from murder and remnant to AI. But who knows? Just leave what you think in the comments, and then I'll make a video. We could talk about everything, because I'm just confused. Because I thought originally, right, we would come down here to Ruin with Cassie, because I still thought it was a trap, and it was, because it just sounds too much like one. But I thought we'd come down here and we'd find whatever was left of the Blob in Afton. But now I've taken on the assumption that the Blob is the Mimic. Because if we look at his model, he's kind of just like a mixed disaster of things. Or some could say that the Blob got killed along with Afton. But then we can go back to the trope of that they had at the end of the game of, if the death isn't on screen, the death never occurred, because we know after the credits Cassie isn't dead. We know there's going to be another DLC, another game, whatever. So we know she's not dead. We know Roxy didn't die. So I'm just confused about a lot of that because don't get me wrong, it was good. The gameplay not so much, but the game and the lore and the implications was good. I really liked that. And I think we just, I don't know, I think the FNAF just needs, timeline just needs to be a lot clearer because we are getting the movie, but the movie goes into Remnants, not evil AI. So just the dramatic switch from evil AI, from the base of the base of murdered remnants to evil AI is just fucking weird because there's no concrete, for me at least, there's no concrete switch between that. It kind of just looks like it just does that, so it's weird. I am just confused.